All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey, good morning, Westplex. Steve Casper in the studio. Stand by for What About Nutrition with David Gall and a very special guest on this weekend on Westplex Radio. So glad to have you with us. A show we do every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 9, and again on Sunday right after Jim Beck's Gospel Hours from 10 a.m. to 10:30. You can always pick up this also on our website, westplexradio.com, and the archive shows are always at o'fallonnutrition.com, o'fallonnutrition.com, and we're going to start by saying that the FDA has not evaluated the statements we make on this program. Always consult your physician before making any changes to your diet or supplements. And this program is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease, but you're going to learn a whole heck of a lot. And with me right now is David Gall from O'Fallon Nutrition. Good morning, David.
Hey, Steve. Another great morning on What About Nutrition?
That's right, and you have a very special guest. I'm just going to turn this over to you, and we're going to be here for another half hour. So everybody sit down and hunker down and take notes if you want. You're going to learn a lot.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We have Kimberly from Genesis Today here, and she's going to be speaking to us about a really cool line of products they have called the Genessentials lines. Now, Steve, you remember last week, of course, we interviewed Debbie of Genesis Today, and we talked about the superfruit juices like noni juice, acai, mangosteen, etc. Really informative. We got into the history of those juices, how they're created, etc. And, of course, at O'Fallon Nutrition, you can pick up a burned CD with that interview on it, or you can go to our website at o'fallonnutrition.com and check it out. And this one will be archived too. But Debbie, let's jump right into it. So Genesis Today is, I was describing them last week as like a superfruit company. They're a little bit more than that, really a superfood company that has some great, amazing supplements as well. And this Genessentials line, from the way I understand it, is a line that's trying to address the essential sort of core issues that people would have. So there's a Genessentials for digestion. There's a Genessentials oil blend of various plant-based oils. There's a Genessentials green blend, which is probably my favorite product out of all of them, as well as some other really new cool things coming out. So Debbie, Kimberly. Kimberly, give me a little overview and give our audience a little overview of what the Genessentials line is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I love about the Genessentials line is that it's a complete program. I think a lot of times when customers are starting that health journey and they want to get some help and they walk into the health food store such as yours, it can be a bit overwhelming, and I think sometimes they'll think, if I take this one supplement, that's going to be the magic bullet and I'm going to feel awesome tomorrow. And when it comes to nutrition and your bodies, it's so much more deep than that. So what I love about the Genessentials line, it's a complete program. It's a 100% plant-based nutrition line that we have, and they're all designed to work synergistically together. So it's not, a single product, even though people will still buy it that way. Mm-hmm. It's really designed to work together just to help your body to function is the best that it can. And you really just need all the different components. So it's 100% plant-based. It's psyllium-free, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, corn-free, GMO-free. It's just real food.
Wow, that's really good. And that's so important today because there are so many food allergies coming about, with our new, environment today, modern chemicals, the way that folks have eaten that, contributes to food allergies. It's important to be things like gluten-free. And you mentioned non-GMO. I'm not sure everybody picked up on that, but that's another huge factor. Can you remind everybody what non-GMO means?
Yeah, it means that anything in the product is not genetically modified or genetically engineered, and all that is that's a common reason we have allergies, because if our food is modified by man, our bodies don't recognize that a lot of times, and it can trigger allergies, asthma, all kinds of disease and problems. And so GMO-free is something you really want to be looking for. It's becoming more popular, which is awesome, especially in a store like yours.
Sure.
The majority of products, obviously, you have are GMO-free,
right.
But it's something you want to look for because you want to be adding, when you're taking a supplement, you want to be adding life to your body. You don't want to be adding more problems, more toxins. We've already earned enough disease in our body with the lifestyles we've had, and the way our environments are. So we have to do everything we can to just flood our bodies with real, live food. And that's what the Genessentials line is.
Wow, that's really important. And not to keep sticking on the GMO thing, but one other, comment I would make is that if things aren't labeled non-GMO, they're probably genetically modified these days.
I am so glad you said that, because I think, too, with marketing, you see a label and you see nutrition or anything positive, and you think, oh, great, it's good for me.
Sure.
And we as consumers, we have to educate ourselves and be detectives. And I love teaching people how to read labels, what to look for. And with Genesis, with our line, if you look on our supplement facts panel, you can see exactly what's in there. You recognize the words, and all over the label, you're going to see the gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free. I mean, we're very transparent because we want you to know everything in there is just plants, basically.
Right, and I love that about your company. When we were talking to Debbie last week, we talked about how the superfruit juices, particularly like the Acai 100 and Noni 100, etc., they don't have any other ingredients in them. They're just the pure fruit, which I love. But I don't want to keep us on this for too long. Let's start talking about some of the Genessentials products. I should ask you, Kimberly, what's your favorite Genessentials product? We'll start there.
Well, you mentioned it when you were saying the 5 that we have in our program.
Yes.
My favorite is the greens. It's actually
Me
jumped
too.
into our top 10 sellers, so
wow.
It's selling very well in health food stores. So consumers listening, you've got to check it out. And I'll kind of talk about each product line today.
Sure.
But my favorite is the greens, and I think the reason why is because it has so much nutrition in one serving of it that
Yes.
you get this energy right away. I mean, when I take supplements, sometimes it can take me a week or two to feel the effects of it because it's holistic and natural. With the greens, there's loaded with so much energy and vitamins in it and nutrition and plants that you literally feel the energy that day. So I actually have a green smoothie on my blog, and it's become really popular. All my friends, everyone goes, "Ooh, I made the green smoothie and I put the Genessential greens in it, and it was awesome." So it's just a fun, awesome product that gives you a ton of energy.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. And you're right. It is the breakout product in our store for the Genessentials line. It's been the most popular. And I think what's so neat and kind of unique about it is that I think of it like a Greens Plus product. There's a huge variety and amount of green foods in it. You've got all your classic, organic wheatgrass, etc., spirulina, the different algae, kale, kelp. But then you've also got a very potent probiotic blend in that greens product. I think it's something like 25 billion good bacteria per serving, that's a full-scale probiotic supplement in its own right.
Yeah, I know. That's what's cool about it, too, is it's a greens on steroids, really, in a positive way, because there's over 75 plant-based ingredients, like you said. It has omega-3, 6, 9 in it. You get 5 grams of fiber, and you're also getting, like you said, the 25 billion CFU probiotics. And to date, it's the highest alkaline greens on the market. So that alkalinity is going to help your body be in balance.
Right.
And what we say is every serving is going to give you it's going to be equal to about 3 to 5 servings of your dark green leafy vegetables. And I love asking my clients, how often do you eat green vegetables every day? And they kind of give you that blank stare, maybe once.
Right.
And we're supposed to be eating vegetables, 5 to 10 times a day. So This is just a great way, awesome for kids too, because sometimes it can be, as everyone knows, hard to get them to eat their vegetables too.
Oh, totally. Well, and I'm really glad that you picked up on or mentioned the alkaline issue. I think that that's something as a nutrition guy myself and as a health food store owner, I think that a lot of the general public isn't quite aware of that factor. And in particular, we could talk about how the important health issues and how a proper pH balance encourages proper immunity and all that stuff. But just in terms of feeling good, when your pH of your body fluids becomes overly acidic, people are going to tend to be sluggish. You're not going to be able to manufacture energy properly. It affects the metabolism of your cells, their ability to bring oxygen in properly, etc. And so I find that when I consume one of these green drinks, I really do feel different almost right away. And I attribute part of that difference to the fact that the greens are helping to alkalize my body or make it less acidic.
You are so right. And there's a buzz, there's an alkaline diet in Hollywood. A lot of people are following it and getting great results from it. Mm-hmm. But when I look at people's diets, they're highly acidic, even people who are trying to eat right. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes they go, I just don't feel good, and I've gone to the doctor, and they can't figure anything out. I have headaches, and I'm tired, and I don't have that spunk, I don't have that excitement for life. Or maybe they're catching colds a lot, and they can't figure out why. Well, that's probably because their body is acidic. So flooding your body with something like this is really going to help with that, like you said.
Yeah, because it's a really kind of a basic issue. A lot of the food we consume, like you mentioned, is acidic. And that a lot of healthy things, we encourage folks to, get sufficient amounts of protein on this show. So that does include things like meats and eggs. And although there are different reasons they can be healthy, particularly if they're grass-fed or, not raised the wrong way, however, they're still acidic. Most of our starches are acidic. And all the bad foods we talk about on this show, sugar, white flour, those are all extremely acidic. And so we have to find some sort of food to put in our body to balance this out. And if folks aren't doing a lot of green vegetables in their diet, then we can assume that it's imbalanced from the perspective of their pH. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. No, you're right on the money. And it's strange, but with the food that we're getting, before back in the day, food was much more nutrient dense than it is now, just the way that, the mineral depletion in the soil.
Of course.
We have to eat even more to get that, and on top of it, we're already, eating acidic things, and then our environment too. So really, it's again that whole concept of supplementing with things that are going to support your body and help your body function the best that it can.
Wow, that makes so much sense. So when we come back in the second part, we've got about a minute and a half left here, but we're going to talk about the Genessentials plant oil blend, and that features some really exotic oils like sacha, anichi, and I believe like chia seed oil and some other really interesting ones. Mm-hmm. And we'll be talking about the really interesting product, the Genessentials Digestion Blend.
Okay.
Really cool product, has enzymes, probiotics, a little bit of supplemental stomach acid, and then a variety of digestive supporting herbs. I think that's a really cool product. And, of course, then there's the really huge trendy product, which will be fun to talk about, green coffee extract. So this was on Dr. Oz recently, Steve.
And wonder if Starbucks has that.
Oh, man, they don't. And interestingly enough, the gentleman who started Genesis Today is this gentleman named Dr. Lindsay, and he was on Dr. Oz last week. And they have a green coffee extract product that is absolutely exploding right now. In fact, I'm surprised we're even able to talk to Kimberly today, because a couple days this week when I tried to call their company, their phone lines were down because they were getting so many calls.
Wow.
So when we get back, we'll have to touch on all of that, Kimberly.
That sounds great.
Okay, we're going to be taking a break right now. We're coming right back in just a few moments. You're listening to What About Nutrition on Westplex Radio exclusively. We're coming back with another segment with David Gall of O'Fallon Nutrition in their brand new location at Highway K, Mexico Road. You go down south of I-70 on Highway K and turn right on Mexico Road right there past the Walmart. And right by the car wash past that, you'll see O'Fallon Nutrition in the plaza on the upper right. We'll be right back.